It's almost like Trump's base is getting sucked into the identity politics over this race issue with Kamala. Listen, bro, it doesn't matter if she's black or Indian. No one cares. I give a she can actually do the job. But the problem is she can't do the job because we've already seen what kind of job she can do because she did it for the last 4 years. And the reason that race is relevant here is not because race is relevant. It's because it's an exposure of her own character. All right. She is willing to deny certain aspects of herself to manipulate people that she wants to manipulate. That is a character flaw. Anybody who's involved in knowing anything about what's going on realizes that we are this close to losing our country. The white dudes for Harris or whatever, or like these upper middle class white brunch women who think they're virtue signaling and fighting for people when they're actually harming people for their own attention. These people do not understand how close we are to crumbling, and they don't understand that if we crumble in the way that the people they're voting for want us to crumble, that they are the ones that will suffer the most, the quickest. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to motherfucking reality. Guys, today we have a special Saturday edition of Andy and DJ
Cruise the motherfucking internet.
That's what we're going to do. That's what CTI stands for, Cruise the Internet. If this is your first time listening, we're going to put topics up on the screen. We're going to talk about what's going on. We're going to speculate on what we think is true and what we think is not true. And then we're going to talk about how we, the people, need to solve these problems. Now, this is where I would normally go into the entire intro of the show, but I'm not going to today. I'm just going to tell you this. We don't run ads on the show. I don't want to answer to anybody or be pressured by anybody to say things that I don't believe. And I ask very simply in return for that, you help us share the show. We are constantly dealing with shadow bans and censorship, having podcast episodes removed. So if you think the message is worth sharing, if it provides value, if it makes you think, if it makes you laugh, it gives you new information, if it provides a perspective that you think people need to hear, and that is more important than ever right now, do us a favor and don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
All right. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Nothing, dude.
Yeah, a little Saturday cruising.
Yeah.
We, there is some interesting stuff happening. It's been a while since we've done any, like, legit tinfoil stuff. It's been a minute because most of the stuff, like, it's come true, but.
Yeah, we almost got to, like, throw the tinfoil out.
I know, right? I'm saving mine for Thanksgiving. But I think it'd be a good opportunity, to whip it out a little bit. And I thought this was interesting. We'd love to get your thoughts on this. So apparently, and I don't know if they used AI or how they did these, right? But have you seen, like, World War II recolored?
Yeah. Right?
Like they take those old grain, or World War I maybe, but they take those old video clips and footages and pictures and they can like recolorize it and make it look, nice. So they did that with the Titanic pictures, with some of the old, only existing photographs and even some video clips of the Titanic. And I thought it was pretty cool. They do look a little weird. I thought it was pretty cool. So incredible new colorized footage has given an insight into what life was really like on the Titanic. News Channel 4 documentary Titanic in Color is airing this week, bringing life into the stories of the passengers on board the famously doomed ship. The RMS Titanic famously sank on her maiden voyage from Southampton to New York on 15 April 1912 with an estimated 2,200 people on board. The unsinkable ship had hit an iceberg just before midnight, and as there were only 20 lifeboats on board, 1,500 people lost their lives. That's a lot of fucking people, too, by the way. But in the program, relatives of those on board tell their untold stories, while colorized photos and film footage gives a unique insight into daily life on the superliner. So here are some of the colorized pictures. Okay, this one looks like a cartoon, I'm not gonna lie, but like this one's pretty convincing. Like, dude just working out back there.
Yeah, we're doing some rows.
Getting ripped.
Yeah.
There's like one of the pictures of like one of the interior staterooms there.
The fuck is that in the mirror?
It does look kind of creepy, doesn't it?
What
I
is
saw
that?
that too. It looks like a G.
That looks like a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of creepy. But like they got pictures of like little kids and stuff playing on the deck, and
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting. But like it just made me think, man. Like there is a massive conspiracy about the Titanic thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right, because like it sank in 1912, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but like there's some stuff, and like I've tried to find
the only people that were opposed to the formation of the Federal Reserve were on the ship when it sank.
Mm-hmm. That's
the
a fact.
only families.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay, so there was 5 or 6 families that wanted to form the Federal Reserve. And it just so happens that the families that opposed the Federal Reserve formation were on the fucking Titanic. And we're to believe this is just a freak accident? No. Come on, man.
Don't make sense. And then what happens?
That ain't tinfoil. That's common sense.
I mean, and then almost a year later, that's when the Federal Reserve
That's right.
was put in.
That's right.
And the families that, decided, because didn't they like pull out of that trip the last minute or some shit like that too?
They were all supposed to be on it.
They were all supposed to be on there. And the last minute they pulled out,
Mm-hmm.
And I forget, I pulled it up at one. I think if you do the, Bidenomics conversion on how much a price the ticket would have been back then, it was equivalent to like $40,000 for like a decent.
Oh, it was a big deal. It was like going to the Super Bowl, or it was like, flying on the Concorde back in the day. If you were a big deal, you did that.
Yeah. And there was a lot of very successful financial people on that on that boat, that ship. But yeah, like you look into it, and even still today, like people think the Federal Reserve is like a government organization, agency, department.
Absolutely not.
And it's completely private. It's
correct.
completely private. And so I looked into it a little bit more because, like, obviously, like, we see some of the stuff, but like, I'm like, it was, President Woodrow Wilson, he signed it into law with the Federal Reserve Act.
That was the end of America, by the way.
It was.
Yeah, people don't understand that.
It was. But who suggested this? Again, like there were families, big, very wealthy families with some very common last names, that were all a part of it. Just read into this a little bit. So there was a connection between the Rothschilds and the Bank of England and the London banking houses, which ultimately control the Federal Reserve through their stock holdings and bank stock of their subsidiary firms in New York. The two principal Rothschild representatives in New York was J.P. Morgan Company and then the Kuhn, Loeb and Co. Those were the firms that set up the Jekyll Island Conference at which the Federal Reserve Act was actually drafted. They're all there. And those, obviously the Rothschilds, J.P. Morgan Co., like they're all still very influential families even to this day that control.
Well, no shit. They print the money for the globe.
It's the world's bank.
Listen, dude, those families have more GDP worth than the entire globe put together. Every country, every person, every fucking dollar that exists on the planet, those families have more money than that. Okay? And people don't realize that.
I just thought that was
they control everything.
Yeah.
And they print the money for everything. Okay? And this is what, people think, well, our taxes go to pay this. How are we going to pay our tax? Well, if our taxes go to pay that, then why do they print so much motherfucking money? Okay? They don't need us to pay taxes because they print whatever they want. The reason for income tax is not to pay anything that they're trying to do. It's to keep us financially oppressed so that we can only get to a certain level of success, which makes us easier to control. And that is not conspiracy. That is the truth behind income tax. Oh. Income tax should be abolished. The ability for these politicians to increase net worth off of kickback, insider trading, and all this stuff that they do needs to be stopped. We need to quit being robbed, and the Federal Reserve needs to be abolished 100%. 100%. And really, dude, the people behind it should go to fucking jail forever.
Well, like my question that I've always had, like even looking at like the IRS, for example, right? The IRS is not like it was, founded in 1776. It's a very fairly new system.
That's right. That's right.
So my question has always been, well, what the hell were we doing, before 1913 then?
Well, we were building a country. We were building a country.
Like, how did we do it?
We had money, and the money flowed in and it flowed out, and it flowed in and it flowed out, like a truly capitalist economy is supposed to do. When we print money at unlimited amounts, it devalues everything else and creates a system where our wealth is constantly being devalued all the time at the will of these people in Washington, D.C. And so
they make money off the loss.
They make money both ways.
Yeah,
bro, these people, listen, man, people do not understand how financially oppressed even the regular capitalist entrepreneurs, like people might look at me and they're like, what are you talking about? You're not financially oppressed. Motherfucker, you know how rich I'd be if they fucking were stealing my money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how hard I've had to work to fucking get here? It shouldn't be that hard. And that's why I fight for this shit. I fight for this shit, not because I want to come on here and make money. I don't make any money on this show. I don't take ads. I don't get paid to go fucking, I don't play this game, bro. I'm here to fucking wreck this system. I hate these people. Let's get real fucking clear on this, because they are robbing you young people who follow me for Q&AF and you're entrepreneurs and you want to become successful. They are stealing your opportunity to do what I have been able to do in my life. And that is not okay for me to stand by and say, oh, well, I got mine. Fuck these guys. That's just not that's not what I'm about, bro. I ain't wired that way. I fucking hate these people. And, you guys don't hate them enough. That's the truth.
It's real, man. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting to bring that up. I'm like, that's interesting timing and all of that. And there's always been controversy, not conspiracy.
It's controversy because people are financially illiterate and they want to pretend like they want to pretend like they understand finances when they don't really understand anything. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if they would just take a minute, humble themselves, and look into what's actually going on instead of just repeating what the mainstream media tells them they have to say all the time, you'd actually figure out that we are tax slaves in this country. You can't tell me we're not. Okay. Every single one of you people working that pays taxes, you work until August to pay the government. If you work until August to pay the government before you actually start getting paid, you work for the government, whether you think you do or not. And nobody considers that. Nobody stops and considers, and they say, well, I don't work for the government. I only pay 30%.
I work at Walmart.
Hey, dumbass, what do you pay when you buy shit? What do you pay when you own shit? What do you pay when you got to register shit? What do you got to pay when you sell shit? Okay, it's not just income tax. It's all these other taxes that combine. We're taxed every direction we go with our money, and it is financially oppressive. And dude, Donald Trump, if he's really who he says he is, should be abolishing the tax and completely, but I'll take reducing it to a minimum level like 10% and firing all these fucks that steal our money and create these bureaucracies and create these systems that none of us can navigate. Have you tried to go get a driver's license or register your car? It takes 7 hours. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, dude, all those inefficiencies that you hate when you go to the courthouse or you go to the DMV, or when you see these lazy workers just standing around, you pay for that. We're paying for that. It's a fat, bloated system that needs to be scrubbed and restarted. That's the only answer to us ever becoming financially free in this country.
Yeah, that's real, man. Guys, jumping on this conversation, down in the comments, let us know what you guys think. With that being said, man, let's get into this cruise.
Dude, what's his face from who's the young El Salvador president? The 43-year-old guy. Young guy? You know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
Dude, did you see him come speak at CPAC?
Mm-mm.
He said this at CPAC. He said, you guys are under the illusion that your taxes pay for your government. And that is not true. You are taxed so that you are financially oppressed. He says this. And people are like, oh my God, he's such a hero. Motherfucker, I've been saying this for 10 years. Other people say it too. It's the truth, okay? And if we ever want a real America that actually serves the people, we have to get rid of this fucking shit. It has to be completely wiped out.
Yeah. Guys, jump on this conversation down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. That being said, headline number one reads, National Association of Black Journalists faces internal ire, there we go, over Trump Q&A. Almost got me on that one.
Ire.
Yeah. So,
They couldn't use a word like that we all understood.
yeah, trouble.
Yeah.
Backlash.
Yeah.
Oh,
Backlash.
Yeah, probably couldn't use backlash, but
Oh man, come on now.
I would have fucked that one up. But let's dive into this. So Trump did this interview, went to this national organization for black journalists, and he did a little stage talk with them. There was a Q&A session format. Had a couple of well, I guess really just one notable person on the panel, which was Harris Faulkner. I like her. She's cool. Yeah. Fox News contributor. Rachel Scott from ABC, Kadia Goba from Semaphore. And there's been a lot of interesting things around this, right? And in particular, mainly with these two right here, with Trump and Rachel. Right? I personally think Trump did fucking amazing in this.
He did.
I think he did great. I think that he handled this well, and I believe that in the last, 8 years or so of press coverage they've been giving him, and his remarks, I think this is probably his best one he's done, in my personal opinion.
Well, remember, dude, most of these press conferences that he does don't see the light of day.
Right.
He does very well all the time.
Yeah,
but
it's true.
They don't show that.
Unfiltered, unedited. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I thought he handled this really, really well. And then this lady,
she embarrassed their whole organization.
She made an ass of herself.
Yeah, she did.
Like bad.
She did.
And a lot of people agree with that. A lot of people on the internet agree with that.
She was trying to make a name for herself instead of actually trying to get to the issues.
Yeah.
And right now in this country, people care about the issues. They're having trouble paying rent. They're having trouble with their food. They're having trouble with their day-to-day life. People don't give a fuck about your identity politics, fucking bullshit, fake racism nonsense. They're over it. Even black people are over it, which is evidenced by the way they reacted to Trump in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think too, like, she was just spouting pure fucking lies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it
easily debunkable lies too.
Very easily.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like, okay, I don't know about that. Let me research. Like, no, it's like, that's been proven.
Yeah, like when she said, what'd she say? She said, Kamala's always identified as black. There's 75 videos where she's bragging about being Indian, and she's using the Indian heritage to pander to Indian Americans. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden, because they've let the black vote slip, because they've completely alienated the black audience like they do every 2 and 4 years. And finally, because the internet is so fast in communication, so obvious and so transparent, the black community has finally realized, at least a lot of the community, that the Democrats are the fucking problem for them.
Yep.
They come in every year, every 2 years, every 4 years, and they say, hey guys, those white people fuck it up for you. Trump's fucked it up for you. And then they're like, cool, we'll vote for you. Go fix it. And then they come in and they say, guess what? They fucked it up again. Right? Like, that's their whole platform. Yeah. And then in the meantime, they get all of these things funded and then they steal the money.
Mm-hmm.
So.
They come out rich.
Yeah, that's right.
Rich as fuck.
Filthy rich. While our black American communities, in the urban communities, are getting fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
And people are tired of it. People aren't going to give a fuck about these fake racism claims that they put on Trump when they can't fucking survive.
No.
Or when they can't go outside because they're afraid they're going to catch a stray bullet. Or they're going to have to deal with people from fucking some other country who are criminals and have their little gang going on there, right? Like,
or they're seeing them get thousands of dollars a month in support, or seeing them.
Bro, did you see that one in New York where that receipt went public and it had that migrant had $13,000 fucking dollars in his account?
Bro, what
on his EBT account?
What was the fucking statistic? I think it was like almost like 80% of Americans don't even have like $500.
Bro, they're doing for the migrants what they promised for the black people.
For black people, yeah.
That's insane.
Where's those conversations about reparations at? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
listen,
it's
man,
crazy, man. But
anyway, get into it.
Let's check this out.
Yeah.
So I want this first clip I got here. This is how it all started. All right, this is what Trump walked into, and it's an awesome clip. Let's check it out.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money, they were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was wrong.
Mr. President, I would love if you can answer the question on your rhetoric and why you believe that black voters should trust you with another 4 years.
I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act?
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace. Let me
just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here.
I love it.
You know what I love the best he said that I felt was very genuine is when he said, I have too much respect for you to be late.
Yeah. That
is a grown man thing to say and do.
Yeah.
Like that guy didn't have to do shit, bro. He could show up and he could say, you're fucking 30 minutes, fuck you, and leave.
And just leave.
Yeah.
And leave. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, because he actually was invited to this twice before.
Yeah.
One in 2016, one in 2020, and scheduling conflict. I don't know why, but he didn't go.
No, there was a bunch of backlash about it.
Yeah.
They didn't want him there. Certain people wanted him. Yes.
Yeah, okay. But here he is. He shows up, and, shockingly, they didn't start on time.
That actually is pretty funny.
Shocking. National Organization for Black Journalists does not start on time.
I think I heard a smoke detector beep, bro. Look, man, I love this shit.
I'm trying to beep. What was that?
Yeah. Look, dude, I love that he showed up. It takes big courage. He walked right in there. He acted professional. They tried to hammer him. And of course, they're spinning it like he was unprofessional.
Bro.
Look, dude, what's he supposed to say? What's he supposed to say? Okay, the media's lied about him in these racist claims for years. The guy has 20-something thousand employees. He's been in business for 50 fucking years. He's done more good than most people for America, period, because of the businesses he's created, and the jobs he's created, and what he's done for the economy. People don't consider how hard that is to do as a single person. You're putting your own world on your back, and you're saying, these people right here, they're going to win because I'm going to fucking make sure they win. That's a true leader, bro. And when you have Kamala Harris, who hasn't done shit ever, which is verified fact, Okay. And a lot of these people, not here in this room, apparently, but a lot of people out there, upper middle class white people, brunch people, they want to vote for someone because of the color of their skin, which is literally the lowest IQ decision that you could potentially make. And the reason that these people do this is because they feel bad because they've never had any hardship in their life. So if you've never had any hardship in your life, then what difference does it make who we vote for? We're going to vote for who we like. They don't take into consideration that this decision and this thing that they're rallying for, and the only reason they're rallying for it is so that they can feel important in their empty, miserable little lives, is actually going to hurt the people that they're trying to advocate for. And the people they're trying to advocate for, the black community, understands that they can no longer vote for someone because of the color of their skin. We have to bring it back to meritocracy. And I think Trump is really benefiting from that realization that I think all Americans are having.
Yeah, 100%, man. But yeah, I mean, it didn't stop, and of course you leave it up to mainstream media. Trump attacks Harris's identity, saying he didn't know she was black. I didn't. She's not.
You got the clip?
Of course I got
Yeah, the clip's good.
Let's check this out.
I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you believe that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty
She became
tone.
a black person.
A black person.
Bro, did you hear him laugh? Everybody was laughing.
Bro, the crowd.
And you know that lady is getting so pissed because he's just owning her on stage.
Bro, completely wrecked her.
Yeah.
And but it's also true. It's also very, very true. And literally, like, I mean, dude, there is, like you said, there's hundreds of clips out there. CNN did a whole segment on her Indian heritage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's there. This woman has never identified with her black side.
Yeah.
Right?
Until it's convenient.
When it's convenient.
And that's the thing. I think this is discussion's getting off track a little bit here because people are talking about race so much. It's almost like Trump's base is getting sucked into the identity politics over this race issue with Kamala. Listen, bro, it doesn't matter if she's black or Indian. No one cares. I don't give a fuck. I give a fuck if she can actually do the job. But the problem is she can't do the job because we've already seen what kind of job she can do because she did it for the last 4 fucking years. Okay. And the problem and the reason that race is relevant here is not because race is relevant. It's because it's an exposure of her own character. All right. She is willing to deny certain aspects of herself to manipulate people that she wants to manipulate. That is a character flaw. That is how people should be looking at it, is not, oh, race. They should be, oh, she's a liar. And that's how people should be looking at this. And that should be it. The race discussion, I feel like a lot of people are getting sucked into it and losing sight of what the actual discussion is here. The discussion here is Kamala's never done fucking shit and Donald Trump's done a lot of shit. And we're in a critical point in our country. Anybody who's involved in business, anybody who's involved in knowing anything about what's going on realizes that we are this fucking close to losing our country. And regular NPC people, like these people who, you know, the white dudes for Harris or whatever, or like these upper middle class white brunch women who think they're virtue signaling and fighting for people when they're actually harming people for their own attention. These people do not understand how close we are to crumbling, and they don't understand that if we crumble in the way that the people they're voting for want us to crumble, that they are the ones that will suffer the most, the quickest. Okay? So it's really, dude, we're really suffering right now because there's a lot of ignorant people. That's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know down in the comments what you guys think.
I would say that anybody you want to argue about Kamala and Trump, I don't think the argument is her race or anything like that. I don't think that's irrelevant.
No, it should be about policy.
That's right.
Who and again,
who's done what?
When she was senator, there was I think it was like 164 bills that came through.
Yeah, and none of them went to law.
Not one.
Yeah,
not one. And so, I mean, so like even that alone,
bro. Biden, like people are like, oh, if you say she's a DEI hire, you're a racist. Dude, Biden straight up said, my vice president pick will be a black woman when he was pandering to the black Americans in 2019.
Yep. Fact check it.
Dude, not only that, Biden also said, I'm appointing a black woman to the Supreme Court. Okay? That is DEI. That means someone is getting a job because of their skin color, not because of their merit or their skill set or their history or their accomplishments. Kamala is no different. She is absolutely a DEI hire. And if you want to see what damage that will do, vote for her. Your life will be shit in another 4 years. You think that we have a legal problem now? Bro, she's going to take the 15 to 20 million illegals that have been here, get them to become citizens, and they will all vote Democrat forever. Then she'll bring in 30 more million over the next 4 years. Okay? So you think this is a problem now? Just wait. All right? America will never be a capitalist country ever again if she wins. And that's her intention. She is an extreme Marxist communist. Her father was a Marxist instructor, a teacher. Okay? She grew up in this. These other motherfuckers like Joe Biden and all these Pelosi's and shit, they pretend to believe this shit just to get their power and get their way so that they can do their insider trading and enrich themselves, right? Kamala is a true believer of these things. Okay, when she gets in power, bro, it's going to be very harsh. It's going to be just like every other communist situation that's ever happened in the history of the world. And people are going to, it's going to kill people. People will die. They will become very poor. People will starve. And, if you don't believe that, go read the book Red Famine. If you don't believe that, go look at what the Bolsheviks did. If you don't believe that, go study your fucking history books. But you won't because you're too fucking lazy to do it.
Yeah. Guys, jump in on this conversation down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. With that being said, let's go cruise some.
Yeah.
Got a new nickname for you, Andy.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's hear it.
From J. Spencerton. Uh-oh. Broflake be triggered.
Broflake. Hey, that's pretty good.
That's decent.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
I think it's better than Snowflake.
That's a good one.
I'll take it.
You know what?
Broflake. Hey. You're my little broflake, Andy.
You're my little cocoa broflake.
Yeah, all right, Jay.
Hey, you know what? I can respect it. Man, that's a good one.
That's decent. Coming from left field, man. That's decent.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's decent.
Hey, I give credit where it's due.
Broflake. I like it.
I don't know if you would say triggered. I'm just passionate.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I don't get triggered.
No, now to another comment, because, I do listen. I think it's important.
I think it's funny that people think because I'm intense and passionate that that's some sort of bad thing. Like, how would we be as a country if more people had the attitude that I had about their love and their passion for this country and people being free, including Jay Spencerton over here?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe we would actually be free.
Look a little different.
Yeah.
Look a little different.
So, yeah, I do get pissed off. But the only reason I get pissed off is because I know what America could be for all of you, and they're taking that away, and you don't realize it. So even though Jay Spencerton, he's having a little laugh here, I can laugh too. I'm fighting for you, bro. You just don't know it.
Yeah. Now, this next comment, I think it's important for everybody to, at least attempt to try to understand liberal logic. And I tried. And
you failed.
And I need help. I need help. This comment comes from...
Well, you know why, right?
What?
It's because you don't know how to use a computer.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You need the white liberals' help.
Savior, please save me. Because this comment from Ken Boyle says, just to clarify, we vote for ticket, president and vice president, with the understanding that the vice president could possibly be president. So to say we didn't vote for a candidate is not correct.
Did I say that? Oh, what he's saying is, okay, What he's saying
He's
is
still wrong, but yeah.
No, they like to talk about technicalities, right? So there's a lot of arguments going on right now that there was a coup amongst the Democrat Party and nobody voted for her to select her as president as the Democratic primary candidate. But what he's saying is because they voted for her as the vice president, if something were to happen to Biden, the people who voted for Biden understood that she would be president. He's technically correct.
But wouldn't that be also admitting that something happened to Biden?
Well, yeah, of course. But the point of this is that in this situation, nobody voted for Kamala Harris to be the presidential nominee. They voted for her to be the backup if something were to happen, if the guy were to die, if he were to have a stroke.
This administration.
That's correct. And so now we're entering a new election cycle where a lot of the Democrat Party is very, very upset with the Biden and Harris administration because, quite honestly, they lied about a lot of shit to these people. So while he's technically, correct, there's another side to that coin. And the other side of that coin is a lot of these people want something different and they didn't get an opportunity to vote for something different.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to cover that a little bit later.
Yeah. So I get what he's saying, but I don't necessarily agree.
Yeah. All right.
But I mean, it's a fair point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. This next one comes from at Christopher Crayons, 5461. He says, blue ras is white people's grape.
Man, I think it is.
I think that's official.
I think it is. That's why I like grape, though.
If a guy named Christopher said it, it's probably true.
Hey, man. I never understood the blue ras shit. Like people drinking blue Slurpees and blue Gatorades and blue ras. All you motherfuckers drinking blue shit. There's something wrong with your brains.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You like that? You like blue stuff?
I'll drink half of it.
See, if I have to pick, bro, I will drink red shit or purple shit over blue shit.
Oh, red for
like
sure.
if I'm getting Slurpees or snow cone, it's red.
Red. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll do purple. Mm-hmm. All right. But I'm not getting blue.
No. Right.
If I'm getting a Slurpee, red's my choice. And maybe root beer. I'll do some red and like that. The root beer Slurpee is pretty good. You don't like root beer?
No, white people shit.
Is it?
For sure.
Is root beer white people shit?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You guys don't like root beer? Yeah. Hey, okay, fine. I do like root beer. Yeah. You know what's good about me is I like everything.
Not surprising.
Yeah, except communists. I agree with this comment. This makes sense to me.
I mean, listen, Christopher Crayons is dropping bombs.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's a sharp comment right there.
Yeah,
that's high IQ.
Guys, we appreciate you for being real ass fans. Keep liking and commenting. Make sure you guys are subscribed.
I'm really thinking about this now.
What?
This makes sense.
I mean,
every white motherfucker I know loves blue ras,
and every black person I know
loves grape. I like grape better. So what's that mean?
I don't know. I have to check the computer to.
Yeah, it sucks. You know how to use it.
If
only you had a white liberal lady to teach you how to use the computer, bro.
Oh man, guys, Eddie, headline number 2. Let's keep this cruise moving. This is an interesting one that came out. There's a lot of. I'm gonna try to tune into like the handler for Joe Biden in this. Oh
man,
segment.
What a job,
bro! Oh. Listen, it's hard.
Did you see what the fuck he did last night,
bro? Listen, I got it.
Wait, is that what we're gonna talk about?
Oh yeah,
you're talking about when the hostage thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, dude,
it's bad. It's bad. And again,
did you see them watching him do it,
bro?
They didn't know what to do.
I got it.
All right, let's see it.
It's bad.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin I don't want to ruin the surprise.
It's bad.
Man, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty fucking bad. Let's talk about it. So, feat of diplomacy. Joe Biden celebrates freeing slew of Putin criminals, including elite assassin for U.S. hostages. So everybody's been talking about this prisoner swap, this prisoner exchange. President Joe Biden on Thursday hailed the complex prisoner swap deal with Russia that freed unjustly imprisoned Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich. I probably destroyed that. Former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan and 2 others in exchange for prisoners, including Russian assassin Vadim Krasikov, as a prodigious feat of diplomacy. Biden said all 4 of the recovered prisoners were convicted in show trials by Russia for absolutely no legitimate reason whatsoever. So in addition to Gershkovich, Whalen, the free detainees included Russian-American journalists Alsu Kermasafy and Vladimir Kara-Murza, a U.S. green card holder and Washington Post contributor who was sentenced to 25 years in prison in April for speaking out against Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, in this deal, all right, just so everybody's clear, Russia in total released 16 prisoners. 4 of those 16 were, in one shape or another, American citizens, green card holder. But in exchange, Russia got 8 from us that were being held in the West. And so, you got that. And then this guy, and then Biden decided to try to be witty about this, right? Oh, really? We got 4 people out, right? And he was questioned, and he tried to throw a little zinger over this prisoner swap, but he fell flat on his face. Let's check this video out. So he was asked by a journalist.
Wait. This is not what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, I got you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So he was asked by a journalist about this swap deal. Let's check this clip.
President Trump has said repeatedly that he could have gotten the hostages out without giving anything in exchange. What do you say to that? What do you say to President Trump now, former president?
Why didn't he do it when he was president?
The motherfucker was just arrested in April, bitch.
Not only that, the 2 out of...
Hold on. So Trump was supposed to get a guy out that was arrested fucking 4 months ago when he was president. Oh my God.
Yeah, man. And it's funny because left media jumped on that too, right? And now they started getting fact checked. Everybody ran with this. But only 2 of the 3 Americans, 2 of the 3 American citizens, they were
not in custody when Trump was in office.
When Trump was in office. Only 1 of them was. And so they've been getting fact checked. So that's cool. But let's get to the to this other part real quick too. And I think it's important. They're brokering this deal. They brokered this deal. Who knows how much money we had to get Russia to do this as well? Who knows? Like there's. They
said none. Things. They said none, but I don't know if that's true because Trump was all hot up on how much money you give him. Wait till they tell you how much money they gave him, and he's typically correct when he talks about that. So I would be willing to bet it's going to come out later that we gave him a bunch of money.
A shit ton of money because the thing is, think about it. Like
they gave Iran $6 billion.
What have they done in the last 4 years that have been advantageous or truly in the people's favor? What have they done in the last 4 years? Think this is going to be any fucking different? I don't think so. And it kind of makes sense because again, like they have never brokered any deals that have been in favor of the American people or the American public. Like the shit that's going on right now that I'm trying to keep eyes on. Biden's involvement in plea deal with 9/11 terrorists now under investigation by Republicans in uproar that death penalty was scrapped. And so we have there's 3 masterminds of 9/11 allegedly. Not even allegedly. These guys have been convicted. That were the masterminds behind 9/11. They're apparently getting off the death penalty. And Biden's getting slammed about that. So I'd like to see you negotiate some shit about that. But that's a different story. Let's get to the actual prisoner exchange here. Okay. And I think the handlers, I'm gonna try to tap into the handlers here. I think the call was, all right, Biden, give me something. All right, Biden's on the field. Biden, give me something. And let's see what he decided to do.
I'm still, you're stuck with me as president for a while, kid. There's no way out, okay? You got me for at least another 100 or 90 days or so.
All right, that didn't work. Pull Biden. Get Kamala in there. You see Kamala's message?
You mean the one that wasn't scripted?
Her soup salad?
Yeah, let's hear this.
This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day.
Truly incredible. What's the transcript of that? Andy, give that a try.
This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy.
Sure.
And understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy.
Wait.
Yeah.
You know,
look, that's the real Kamala.
Oh, that's real.
Yeah. Like,
that is real.
Look, dude, I've given 1,000 fucking talks in front of people. I don't even know. More than that. Never one time have I used a teleprompter. Ever a single time, not once. That is a skill she does not possess. And the reason that she does not possess it is because nothing that she says she actually understands or believes. Okay? If you are to go out and talk to people and make comments to people live without a script, or you're going to talk without a script, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to have the right intent, okay? And you have to actually care about what you're talking about. And she doesn't have any of those three things, all right? And this is why when she goes and stands up on a podium, she can read and sound okay. But you get her without that, she's fucking horrible because she's a nobody, bro. She's a fucking chick who fucking legit got handpicked all the way up the ladder because of her fucking race.
Because of her WAP.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, I heard that too.
I'm saying,
yeah,
it's out there. But I think this was a good quote. I mean, I think, you know.
Yeah, do you have that clip I sent you where that dude was breaking it down, the facts on her?
Yep, this one right here. I got you.
It was really good. But people get upset when you say that she, you know, was just picked for her race. Well, let's listen to what this man has to say right here.
Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, just the facts. You can fact check me, it's all true. Kamala, she graduated from Hastings College of Law. The law school is ranked 82nd out of 196 law schools. She graduated, she took her bar exam, she failed. She failed the exam. She has never had her own business, never had any of her own employees, ever. 2017 to 2021, she served in the California Senate. During those 4 years, she worked on 164 pieces of legislation. Not one of them ever became law. What makes it worse is that she's a liberal governing in a liberal state, and she was still 0 for 164. So during the 4 years, she accomplished nothing. As vice president, she has a record, the lowest approval rating ever in the history of this country, 28%. Donald J. Trump, he graduated from Penn's Wharton School of Business. It's ranked number 1 out of 124 business schools in the country. He has run many businesses over 53 years, employed hundreds of thousands of employees over that time. Currently, he has 22,450 employees split between men and women. That equates to hundreds of millions of dollars over time that have flowed into the economy. Personally, I don't just vote blindly along party lines. I just vote common sense. Let me keep it simple. If your parents had a company and you inherited this company and you didn't want to or couldn't run it yourself, who would you pick to run it? Kamala or Trump? Someone that has never run anything or someone that has run companies worth billions? Now let me extrapolate for a second. Forget about this company I was saying your parents own. What I'm really talking about is a company called the United States of America. Again, please, common sense. Thanks.
Well, yep. Okay, so if those are all the facts, which they are, and you can research those, please do. Why is she where she is?
Mm-hmm. One acronym.
That's right. What?
WAP. Bro, listen, she might have it. She might still have it.
I am not. That's gross.
Is it?
It's gross to me.
WAP? Or her having it?
No, her having it. Yeah. Yeah, let's hold on.
Sound a little liberal there.
I ain't that fucking old. I ain't that fucking old, bro.
No, man, but this quote, man, I thought it was very, very powerful. It reminded me of another one. And this is a fact. She said, today is today. Yesterday was today. Yesterday. Tomorrow will be today. Tomorrow. So live today. So the future today will be as the past today.
Hey, you know what it is, bro? You know what her deal is? She wants to be unburdened by what has been her Indian family. and what's the other part of that?
To be unburdened by what has been to become what can be.
Yeah, so she can become anything. So she's become a black person.
Yeah, and I think it was at this moment the handlers got back on the radio sets and were like, okay, get Kamala the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Let's give it back to Joe. And let's see what Joe had to do. Before I even preface this motherfucker.
Hold on. This is, okay, look. I don't think many people saw this because this got like memory hold real fast.
Yeah.
What plane does the president fly on? What plane?
United States Air Force One.
Everybody knows that. Little kids know that. What color is the plane?
It's baby blue. Air Force
and
blue.
What?
And white.
It's blue and white, and it's huge.
It's massive.
Okay. Little children know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's watch the clip. The motherfucker gets on the wrong fucking airplane. For those of you listening, this old man who doesn't know what this guy doesn't even know where the fuck he is, dude. Bro, you have to, the airplane is the biggest airplane they make for people to try. It's a 747, bro. It's got a big old hump on it. It's blue and white. It says United States of America. Like,
this motherfucker, bro. He got on the plane that the hostages got off of.
Did you see them watching him? Like, oh, what is he doing?
Secret Service guy?
Yeah, they didn't know what to do.
The Secret Service guy was like, oh, fuck.
You know what? Dude, what would you have done if that were me?
Oh, man.
We would have had to play it off. I was thinking about this today when I was watching. I was like,
he wanted to buy one, guys. He was just looking.
No. You would. I know how it would go. You would come on and you would say, "Hey, bro, you got on the wrong plane," and I'm gonna be like, "No, I didn't," and you'd be like, "Yeah, you did," and because I would definitely say no right away, and then I would go, "Oh, really?" And then you go, "Yeah," and I said, "What are we gonna do?" And then we would have to make something up. Like we would have to be like, "Oh, we had a meeting on the plane," like. I wanted to check out the inside.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
you was thinking about buying one. You
just
see what it looked like.
Thinking about getting one for Hunter. Xi Jinping was going to pay for it.
Fuck, man, dude,
bro,
that's so bad.
Yeah, man, she's just as bad, bro. Like the thing is,
them.
Hold on, man. Why? The media's trying to prop this woman up as if she's mega popular. All right, she's not. She's not polling well. Everybody doesn't like her. Yes, why are they doing that? Why are they propping her up? Why are they spending $200-300 million in ads to make her seem like she's so fucking popular?
Because they're going to cheat the fuck out of this election.
That is exactly why. Their goal, because by the way, she did get the nomination today, which means...
I got it.
Oh, you do? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we can talk about it then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, they're going to cheat.
Yeah, they're going to fucking cheat.
They're going to cheat, and so let's talk about how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Headline number 3. I think it's important to start this off. I don't know if I was talking to Joe Gilman about this earlier. You know, Fridays are fear headlines. I put that out there. It never fails. Every Friday there's going to be some type of like fear-stoked, induced, panic that they try to put people in. And I do think it's interesting. Stock markets didn't do too good this morning.
Nope.
When they opened, global stock market meltdown as fears grow. U.S. economy will collapse. So shares across the world tumbled Friday as investors panicked over signs of weakness in the U.S. economy. The S&P 500 was sinking by 2.5% in midday trading, on pace for its worst day since 2022. The Dow Jones was down 954 points, or 2.4% as well. At one point in the morning, the tech-heavy NASDAQ was down 3.2%, meaning it has lost more than 10% from a record high on July 11th. This is NASDAQ here. Ain't looking too good. All three benchmark U.S. indexes had also sunk the day before after a batch of weaker than expected reports on the economy on Thursday. The sell-off is a blow to Americans' retirement savings since 401ks are heavily invested in stocks. But the gloomy news does mean that the Federal Reserve will have to cut interest rates in September by a bigger margin than planned, and maybe several times again before the end of the year if they're trying to save the face for the Democrat Party. But why did that happen? Well, job growth in the U.S. badly missed expectations in July, and the unemployment rate jumped to the highest rate in almost 3 years. Employers added 114,000 jobs last month, according to Labor Department data released Friday, far below the Dow Jones estimate of 185,000. I think this is very important. These are not jobs that people are getting. These are two different metrics here. We have unemployment rate, which is how many people are unemployed, and then how many jobs are being added to the workforce. Not added and like taken, just simply added. Okay. Now we have the U.S. unemployment rate. It's the highest it's been in almost 3 years. Private payrolls, they only grew by 97,000. Average hourly wages rose by only 0.2%, below the 0.3% that was expected by economists. Compared with a year ago, average hourly earnings are up 3.6%, but below the 3.8% gain record last month, and the smallest year-over-year gain since May of 2021. There's also the average work week ticked down from to 34.2 hours from 34.3 hours. So people are even working less now, which is interesting. On average.
They're eliminating full-time jobs and adding part-time jobs.
Yep. Now, it never fails. It never fails that a finger has to be pointed. And guess whose fault it was?
Trump's.
It's Trump's. Ding, ding, ding. Good job, Andy. That's my bro Flake.
Yeah. He's the reason everything gets fucked up.
It's his fault.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
Harris blames Trump for latest dreadful jobs report nearly a full term after he left office.
It's his fault. That makes perfect fucking sense to me. But that's the thing, though. It doesn't matter if it makes sense to you.
Because the people who believe her hate Trump so bad, they'll just gobble it up because it confirms what they already believe.
Trump fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trump.
Those people are insane, dude.
Oh, we did it, Joe. Good job.
Yeah.
Now, while the economy is suffering and it's harder for us to buy groceries and fill up our gas tanks, you know what's not suffering that I thought was interesting, Andy? Harris's campaign funding. I thought was interesting because it's not suffering at all.
No.
Harris doubles Trump's July haul with stunning $310 million fundraising bonanza. They're doing just fine. So Vice President Kamala Harris recently rebranded campaign claims to have shattered 2024 fundraising records with a jaw-dropping $310 million haul across its committees during the month of July. In 1 month. In one fucking month, $310 million fucking dollars in donations. Okay. Let's dive into that a little bit. Right?
Yeah, let's do
that. And just so we know, the article continues. That's more than double the $138.7 million former President Donald Trump's team touted across its authorized committees in July. And the Harris campaign is dubbing it the best grassroots fundraising month in presidential history. Mm-hmm. That's an accomplishment for sure.
Depends on how you do it.
How'd you do it?
Yeah,
I think that's an important question. So there were 4.2 million contributions, all right, from only 3 million donors in July. And they're saying that 2/3 or 66% of those donations came from people who donated for the first time. And that's coming from the campaign. Okay, so that's 2 million people out of the 3 million. This was their first time ever donating to any campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then they said that 94% of its contributions were under $200. And that the typical occupations were teachers and nurses, the campaign said. Quote, from historic grassroots fundraising to hundreds of thousands of new volunteers, one thing is clear as Vice President Harris continues to prosecute the case against convicted felon Donald Trump. Voters are fired up and ready to beat Trump again this November, DNC Chair Jamie Harrison said in a statement. And I think it's also important, too, that out of that $310 million, okay, $200 million of it was done in 1 week. $200 million in 1 week. $200 million in 1 week. And again, 66% of those came from people who never contributed to an election or a campaign ever. And I thought this was interesting because there's a video, James O'Keefe, who used to be a part of what was
Project Veritas.
Project Veritas.
And now he has
O'Keefe Media
James
Group.
O'Keefe Media. Yeah.
He did this amazing expose on this because he looked into this and watch this clip. Let's watch this.
FEC data shows that some senior citizens across the U.S. have been donating thousands of times per year. Some of these individuals' names and addresses are attached to over $200,000 in contributions. We went and knocked on a few of their doors to corroborate the data that we received. We're wondering if these donors are victims of what appears to be a money laundering scheme. Cindy No of Annapolis, Maryland, who in the year 2022 allegedly contributed over 1,000 times to Act Blue, totaling $18,849.77. That means Cindy would have had to donate 3 times a day, every day for the whole year. My name's James O'Keefe, and we're doing a story on the number of people that have donated. You did donate to Act Blue, right?
Once in a while.
What about $18,850?
No, I don't think so.
You know people are using your address?
I don't think so.
Now, that's just one case, right? And then I want to turn our attention over to this gentleman. His name is Parker Thayer. He is an investigative researcher for Capital Research, America's investigative think tank. Okay. And he's been diving into this a little bit. This is his Twitter handle here. And he's put out a couple of things. He said, this is one post. He said, I've censored their names to prevent doxing, but Act Blue donors all over Michigan exhibit suspicious patterns. A single donor in the small town of Monroe has supposedly donated over 20,000 times since 2019, totaling $40,000. That person lives in a 1,000 square foot house that was built in 1956. There's one example. There's the facts. We'll link all of this stuff on the website for you guys as always. There's another person.
So one person. Don't people need to understand this. One person made 20,600 donations. You heard what he said about that woman. That means she had to donate how many times a day?
3 times a day.
3 times a day.
Mm-hmm. This guy is donating. This would average out to 10 donations a day.
Yeah.
10 donations a day.
Every day.
Every day.
For 5 years. Okay.
Here's another one. Another donor in Brighton, Michigan, has donated over 2,500 times since October 2023. Their listed address is a retirement home. Is Act Blue scamming a retiree by convincing them to repeatedly sign up for recurring contributions? Because that person would have had to donate 7 times per day. Here's another one. The third donor in Milan, Michigan, has supposedly donated over 9,000 times since 2019. And 5,500 of those donations occurred after January 1st, 2023, meaning this person would have been donating roughly 10 times per day for the last 575 days.
Mm-hmm.
There's the proof. Now, Parker Thayer ends this by saying there are dozens more donors like the examples above, and there's only 2 explanations here. All right, the first one is that Act Blue, which is the money arm of the DNC, the money arm of the Democratic Party, all that money from BLM got funneled into Act Blue, right? And all of that money gets to go, it has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And they funnel it right back into these campaigns.
That's right.
So he says there's only 2 options here. The first option is that Act Blue is preying on seniors with poor memory by repeatedly sending them requests to sign up for stacking monthly contributions. That's a possibility.
Nobody has a poor memory of 10 times a day.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. But then there's another option. Is that there's some sort of bullshit straw donor scheme that's happening here. I believe that's more likely.
Me too.
I believe it's more
That
likely.
is what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening. Right? And that Act Blue took all that money. I mean, you got to think, they got $90 million that was raised from BLM just in the year of 2020. Right? Oh, cool. Because there's limits on what can donate to a campaign. Right?
People, I know there's people right now being like, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't they just be like people, what they say here? All right, look, dude, here's what's happening. Let me explain it to you in real basic language. They're using these people's addresses, and then very, very, very wealthy people are funneling massive amounts of money through these people's addresses through multiple donations a day that these people are unaware of. Okay. So it's not that these people are they're on a recurring multiple bill scheme, because if you were getting billed 10 times a day for anything, your credit card would shut the fuck off. Anybody's. Okay. So what's happening here, these people, like that woman that they interviewed, she didn't give $18,000.
No.
She probably gave like $50.
Right.
All right.
Or 100 maybe.
And then a company, what do you want to call a bad actor or one of these mega funders,
Shell corporation.
you know, for example, someone like a George Soros is then funding, and I'm not saying it's him, I'm saying someone like that. It's probably him. But is funneling all this extra money to skirt the funding laws of the elections by using these people's addresses. And when he says there's dozens more, there's thousands more.
The thousands more. Now, my question is why would they do that? But like DJ, Andy, why would they do that? Is that because they can further manipulate the manufactured support for this woman? Because they can go online and say that 66% of their donations come from first-time people. You don't think that changes people's idea of support for this woman?
Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that's what these people understand. They understand that if they create the perception that everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, that weak-minded people who are in between may jump on that bandwagon. Okay. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to, one, create that scenario where people who are in between and maybe they just don't know, they start to look at what's going on, which is most people, by the way.
Bystander effect.
Yeah. Most people look at what's going on and then they join the crowd. They join where the most people are. That's a basic psychological studied fact.
Bystander effect. Yeah.
No, the bystander effect's something different. The bystander effect is when you see a fucking crime and you think someone else is going to stop the crime, and nobody stops the crime because everybody thinks someone else is going to do it. But what's happening here is these people who, and you got to think about it, dude. When people are unsure of their position, which most Americans are, because like I've said on the show many, many times, these people are so busy trying to survive that they cannot. And by the way, there's very little availability of real information right now. You have to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. I mean, we do this shit for the show and we have to dig. What do you think the regular person who has bills to pay, a family to take care of, who's struggling financially, do you think they have the time to dig into this? Absolutely not. So their goal here and their play here is to create as much fanfare and as much falsified manufacturer support for her campaign, Kamala's campaign, that they attract those people who are unsure to say, fuck, I don't know. It looks like Kamala's going to, all right, I'm going to join that, right? They just don't know. All right. And then the second thing is they're trying to pump her up so big that it doesn't really matter if people show up to vote or not, because if they have a massive fanfare for this person that's manufactured through the media, then, and they also have the ability to cheat, which we all believe they do, then they can cheat much more effectively because it's believable. It will be more believable for them to cheat with Kamala than it would be for Biden.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what the play is. And it looks and it appears like Michelle Obama will not be the selection. I'm still not sure. There's still things that could happen, but as of today, they made her the official nominee. All right. So I might have missed on that. I still don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. But it could happen.
Yeah.
But the reality is, guys, is that we have to be very aware of what they're doing and why they're doing it. And what they're doing is they're trying to manufacture enough clout behind Kamala Harris, enough fanfare to where if they cheat a massive gap, it's believable. Remember, the dude down in Venezuela just tried to cheat when it was 66-30, okay? And he was the 30, and he tried to cheat that 36%, all right? They're going to do the same. Kamala Harris is polling on a real poll at 28% and Trump is almost 70%. Okay, these polls that they're putting out on media, they're polling selective audiences, which are all Democrat. All right, you think CNN's going out and doing a poll of a fair poll? No, they're going to the place where it's most likely that people are going to vote for Kamala, and they're polling 100 people, and that's where they're getting their data from. It's not a true poll. No. The true polls that are happening, the real information that's being gathered is showing Trump at a substantial lead. All right, so they're trying to create it so like if they cheat and Trump has massive momentum, and if they cheat, people can say, there's no way they cheated. Look how famous she was. Look how popular she was. She was on all these, she was with Hollywood. She was on
she raised.
She was on The View.
Right.
Look how much money she raised. She was with Drew Barrymore. She was here. Everybody loved her. Dude, the best thing that's happened in the last 4 years that these people haven't counted on is that Hollywood has crumbled. They're no longer credible. In fact, when people from Hollywood endorse people, it almost turns everybody else off at this point. All right. And it's the same thing for these talk shows. The only people that watch these talk shows like The View or Drew Barrymore are people who are, you know, they're not changing their mind. They're bought into this shit. They are so far buried in the sand that there's no convincing them. It's not going to happen. So what they want to do is convince those people that she's so famous and so popular and so cool that when they cheat, those people will fucking fight to the death to defend it. They know that in November, there is going to be a massive argument over who actually won the election. We're going to not know for 4 or 5 days again. They're going to cheat their fucking ass off. I'm calling it right now. They will. There will be pipes burst. There will be things that happen. It may be something completely different than last time, but there will not be a winner decided the day of the election, which is how it's supposed to be. That's how it's always been in the United States of America, outside of a few times. And those few times have been the latest times. And the reason they've been the latest times is because the people who are running the elections and who are in control of the country, the Obamas, the Clintons, the fucking elite cabal, those people, that little group, have made the elections cheatable. So now we're dealing with the situation. I mean, dude, it's a banana republic. This is communism, all right? And to the guy's comment on Cruz, the comments, when he said, you know, well, technically we voted for, yeah, technically you did, but most people who voted for Biden are very pissed. And a lot of people who voted for Biden still don't want to vote Republican. And they wanted a voice. They wanted a chance to pick a better candidate. And the reason that they didn't allow a better candidate to be chosen is because she has been part of the plan to usher in this communist Marxist state into this country. People who are voting for her are so ignorant to what it's going to do to their own lives. It is going to completely destroy the people who are voting for her, because there's only one kind of person that votes for her outside of the political elite class. And that is the very, very, very poor person. Well, there's two, the very, very, very poor person or the upper middle class white woman. And it's going to destroy both of those people, because the very, very, very poor person is going to get much poorer. All right, because communism never makes people rich. It makes people equally as poor. And then secondly, that upper middle class white woman who might have a husband, or, you know, she's got a family to support, that dude's not going to be able to go out and make the money that he could have made. Okay, it's going to destroy the economy. It's going to make it harder for him to succeed and survive. And they're not taking that into consideration, dude. And so, like, dude, these people are voting against their own interests because they've been manipulated and marketed to effectively enough, and then culturalized to be anti-Trump no matter what. Like, a lot of these people, bro, they would rather eat fucking shit than have Trump in office. Like, it's really,
is that real? Yeah,
I know, it's insane, dude.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very important that we all have conversations, not just about, you know, these stupid, superficial internet conversations about someone's race. We have to have intellectual conversations about who is the most qualified to do the job. And we have to have those conversations with these people that I talk about that are sort of undecided, or maybe in 2020 they voted Democrat, or they voted Democrat forever, and now they're just like, yeah, I don't like it, but I don't like Trump either. We need to have unifying conversations with those people. This argument that we keep getting sucked into around identity politics and race, this only makes the common sense American, the middle and the right American seem more extreme. All right. So when people, like, for example, like the boxing story, all right, the boxing story where they said this was a man fighting a woman. It wasn't actually a man fighting a woman. It was a woman with some sort of testosterone disorder. It was not a technical trans person, but they put the story out as if it was a trans person, and everybody got enraged, especially the right. And dude, what's the campaign the Democrats are using right now? What's the key word they're using? Weird. They're just weird. So what happened with that boxing story was they put out the narrative that this was a trans man. Everybody fucking freaked the fuck out. Turns out it's not that. And then they can look at those people and be like, look at those people. They're fucking, look how crazy they are. I think
everybody's a trans woman.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. And so, like, dude, we have to fucking quit arguing over this identity shit, and we have to get down to the actual issues that matter, that are above the line. And what I mean by above the line is the crime, the safety, the economy, okay, and foreign affairs, so that we don't get fucking nuked because some crazy bitch is in office.
That's real shit, man. And last little thing, too, I want to add on this Act Blue stuff before we miss it. Of course, here in the great state of Missouri, we got some great people that are in office, that are representing the people, that are sticking to that. And so attorney generals from Virginia and Missouri, and Wyoming Secretary of State, they're all launching investigations into this exact thing with Act Blue over these allegations of money laundering.
Yeah, look, dude, I want to say this too. If you're in Missouri, you have to vote for Andrew Bailey. You have to.
No doubt.
In the primary. You have to go vote in the primary, and you got to vote for Andrew Bailey. Okay, period.
Yeah. So guys, jumping on this conversation, down in the comments, let us know what you guys think. That being said, let's get to our final segment of the show. As always, we have thumbs up or dumb as fuck. This is where we bring a headline in, we talk about it, and we get one of those two options. So with that being said, our thumbs up or dumb as fuck headline reads, 7-year-old notices elderly woman eating lunch alone and decides to eat with her. God had us in that space at that time. I thought this was pretty cool. Yeah.
Let's see it.
Yeah, let's check this out. So when a 7-year-old boy noticed an elderly lady eating lunch alone at a restaurant, he chose to sit with her and brighten her day. On June 7th, Crystal Temez and Ezra, one of her 4 children, were eating lunch at Brahms, a burger joint in Rockwall, Texas, when Ezra spotted an elderly woman sitting alone behind his mom. Packing up his food, Ezra said, "Mom, we have to go sit with her." A nervous Mrs. Temez hesitated at first, but seeing how determined her son was, she didn't want to deny his request and agreed. After politely asking the 84-year-old woman if they could sit with her, Mrs. Temez learned that the elder was battling depression in the wake of her husband's passing a few months ago. Quote, she was having a hard time getting out of the house, and so she really appreciated Ezra noticing her and coming over, Mrs. Temez told the Epoch Times. In a conversation that lasted for about 30 minutes, Ezra spoke to her about his interest in football. Quote, he told her that he loved football and he was a quarterback, Mrs. Temez said, adding that the elderly woman went on to ask him questions about his siblings. When Mrs. Temez got up for a refill, she noticed just how sweet and precious the moment was and thus decided to capture it on video. Here's a clip.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Somebody better clean that fucking table now. That's all I saw, bro. All I saw was how dirty that table was in that floor. Bro, you think that fucking store looked like that if I ran it?
No, fuck no, man.
I would have fucking already cleaned that shit myself. Like, I want to go find that table right now and clean it. It bothers me.
I will say this though. All right, and I don't know this place, but there is something.
It's like Culver's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, because there is something to be said about, like, I don't know if it's like an old diner spot, you know what I'm saying? Because there's something to be said about it being a little, you know what I'm saying? If
that's not a diner, though.
That's not diner?
No,
okay.
A diner is like Cuppy's Diner in Pennsylvania that my friend Rachel has. It's
okay.
Like 87-year-old diner. That's a diner with a counter.
Yeah, but you know, like a little burger joint, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could get a pass. I don't know how.
You remember Rachel and Jack? They came in
I met him,
for his birthday?
Yeah.
We got to go up and eat at Cuppy's.
You ain't got to beg me, bro. Come on, hey.
She invited us up to eat penis pancakes. Yeah, you heard that right. For Jack's birthday. Bro, they're funny.
Yeah.
They're good people.
Yeah, but I thought this was pretty cool, though, man.
Yeah.
I thought this was cool. A little thumbs up action.
Yeah, hey, man. That's quality character on that young man.
Yeah.
And kudos to that mom for letting him do it. You know, a lot of moms would be like, no, we can't do that. Let's get
Old
out of
people
here.
stinking weird.
No, it's just, you know, well, you know how I feel about old people. Yeah. It is, but it's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
It's a good touch, man. I think that young man's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah. Well, probably good parents, too.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
like Shelby Cobras, too. It's on his shirt.
Yeah, I was saying
He's got to be
shirt.
pretty cool.
Yeah. You know,
That's a really good story, man.
yeah, it's cool.
That's what America's about, bro. Real talk.
Well, it's supposed to be about.
It is what it's about. Like, if we go out in the real world, that's what it's about. We don't deserve to be tortured by the media and these politicians and this fear porn and this crazy shit all the time. But we do have to address the fundamental issues and get these fuckers out of here so that we could get back to living our lives.
Yeah.
So, bro, that is the character of the United States right there.
In one picture.
Bro, dude, I'm telling you, man. And it doesn't matter if you're black or you're white or you're gay or you're straight. Fellow Americans are always there for their fellow Americans. And we have to get back to remembering that and living that way. We have to stop this identity politics bullshit. We have to stop talking about race or the first this or that or whose fucking fault it was for shit that happened 400 fucking years ago. Motherfucker, this is now and this is our lives. And if we don't live our lives now, we're going to regret it. So why don't we all get together and say, fuck all these people, get them the fuck out and make America what it should be. That's what has to happen. And we need to do that by coming together in a united fashion and stop harassing each other about who's right or who's wrong. There's a saying, it's amazing what people can accomplish when they don't care who gets the credit. So leave your ego at the door and just be a productive member of trying to unify people. Have conversations. Try not to be assholes. If they're assholes, don't be an asshole back. Just go to the next person. All right? We have to get this country back on track, and it's going to take us remembering who the fuck we are. And we are not mean people. We are not bad people. We are good people that care about each other, that care more about each other than any other country on the planet that's ever existed, especially people from different cultures. We are the most non-racist country that's ever existed, but yet that's all we talk about. We're the only country in the history of Earth where multiple cultures have come together and produced greatness. Think of all the amazing great inventions, the great civil movements, all of these things that this country has provided that our people have created. These people are not exclusively white or exclusively black or exclusively Asian. They're all different kinds of people from all over the fucking world. So let's stop getting sucked into this divisive shit and let's get on the same page and realize, bro, that we're being victimized by a system. And if we don't stop it, it's going to take everything that we have. All right. So that's my little soapbox for today.
I love it, man. Guys, Andy, that's all I got.
All right, guys. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.